Check out this little guy, this right here. This is where AI is heading. Forget the days when you needed a massive power supply, a dedicated NVIDIA GPU, or a bulky Raspberry Pi setup just to run basic image processing or a natural language chatbot. Those days are over. Today, all that horsepower is integrated into this tiny footprint. This board can see the world, recognize exactly what it's looking at, and get this, you can actually talk to it and it responds in kind. Let's explore the future of edge computing with the Elecrow AI camera development board. I am pumped to show you what's inside. First off, New Year wishes from the team. Nice touch. Unlike the usual cardboard, the components come in this reusable plastic container. It's durable, it lasts, and it means I don't have to hunt for a bin to store the module later. Inside, we have the quick start guide, a USB-C cable, and a 4-pin extender harness. And then, the star of the show. It's got a gorgeous display on the front. Let's peel the plastic, revealing this tiny powerhouse. Before we power it up, let's tear it down and take a close look at the silicon. Under the hood, this board is driven by the ESP32S3R8. We're talking about a high performance extensor 32-bit LX7 dual core processor running at 240 MHz, packed with 8 MB of PSRAM and 384 KB of ROM. For connectivity, we have built-in Wi-Fi 4 and Bluetooth 5 sitting right next to an onboard PCB antenna. For storage, there's a Winbond 16 MB serial NOR flash and a 40 MHz external crystal for timing. You've got a USB Type-C port for power and programming, a battery connector, and a TP4056 charger IC for standalone projects. The USB to UART heavy lifting is handled by the reliable CH340K. Now, the eyes, a 2 megapixel GC2145 sensor with a 120-degree wide angle lens. It's interfaced via an 8-bit DVP parallel port and is fully compatible with OV2640 or OV5640 sensors. There's even a dedicated flash LED for low light captures. For audio, we have a MEMS microphone with minus 26 dB sensitivity and a Class D amplifier driving that 1 watt speaker we just removed. On the flip side, we find the display interface, an SD card slot over SPI, and an Avinic LED driver for the backlight. I noticed these two plated through slots at the bottom. If you know exactly what Elecrow intended these for, let me know in the comments. My guess, mounting points or specialized heat dissipation. This 1.83-inch touchscreen is stunning, 240 by 320 pixels. What I love is the engineering here. The capacitive touch sensor is integrated into the main FPC. Usually these are separate connectors which are a nightmare to handle. This unified design is much more robust. Designing a board this dense, managing high-speed display signals, RF antennas, and complex power paths requires professional standards. When you're designing boards of this complexity, you need an ECAD tool that manages the entire life cycle of the project. In a professional workflow today, we rely on capabilities like version control to track every design iteration and design reuse to speed up the development of complex motor drivers. We need a real-time collaboration so mechanical and electrical engineers can work on the same chassis simultaneously, and rule-driven checks to ensure the board is electrically sound before it ever goes to fabrication. If you're a student or an aspiring engineer watching this, you don't have to wait to get into the industry to learn these standards. I highly recommend checking out Altium Student Labs. It's an incredible resource where you can enroll for free to master these professional outcomes like DFM checks and supply chain risk visibility. These are the skills that separate a hobbyist from a professional innovator. You can find the link to enroll in Altium Student Labs for free in the description below. Let's put it back together. The display snaps into place, the speaker is secured, and we are ready for light off. Plug in the Type C and we are greeted by the Elecrow logo. To get online, just connect your phone to the module's hotspot. It will trigger a provisioning page. Enter your 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi credentials, hit submit. Once the provisioning is complete, the module restarts and automatically hooks into your local Wi-Fi. On the main dashboard, we have three clear options: AI recognition, AI dialog, and our system settings. Let's take a quick look under the hood of the settings page. From here, you can safely power off the device, verify your Wi-Fi network status, control the screen brightness for better visibility, tweak the RGB light, which is great for visual feedback during coding. And finally, you've got your factory reset and version history to ensure you're running the latest firmware. Alright, let's get the AI features online. We'll jump into AI recognition, which generates a unique pairing code. Now head over to the link on the screen to the ThinkNode portal. Once you've logged into your account, navigate to the AI hub. First, we need to add an agent. Just give it a name like AI bot. Next, go to Manage Devices, hit Add, and enter the pairing code displayed on your module. Hit Confirm, and just like that, the hardware is bound to the cloud. The final step for the personality: go back to the AI hub and configure character. I'm selecting Chloe and setting the memory to short term. Hit save, and our AI recognition is officially active. Now, let's see what Chloe can actually see. I've gathered a few items from my desk to see if we can trip this thing up. We'll start with something simple: my AirPods. Let's capture, and the AI processes the frame. There it is. It labels them as a case. Honestly, fair enough. It is a case, so that's a solid pass. Next, let's try something a bit more maker: a pair LiPo battery. I wasn't sure if it would just see a silver rectangle, but it's remarkably literal, identifying it as battery and wire. That's spot on accuracy for raw hardware. But check this out. This is the OG DIY smartwatch. It looks like a round screen, but surprisingly, the AI cuts right through the clutter and recognizes it as a smartwatch. Now, that is genuinely impressive. Let's really push the complexity with this Batman figurine. Look at the screen, it's not just giving me one word, it's pulling tags for figurine, Batman, and even pop culture. The level of detail it's pulling from a single frame is honestly insane. Finally, a couple of quick ones. A bare display PCBA is instantly tagged as a circuit board, and my Nothing Phone 1 is recognized as a smartphone without a second of hesitation. For something this tiny to handle that level of classification is just awesome. This is easily the tiniest, most capable image processing device I've ever got my hands on. The speed and accuracy here are just awesome. You can really start to see where edge computing is heading. So, where is this headed? By the end of this decade, the distinction between smart and dumb hardware will vanish. We are moving toward ambient intelligence where every camera and sensor in your home will have this level of reasoning locally. We'll see AI that doesn't just recognize a person but understands human intent, detecting if an elderly person has fallen or if a child is near a hazard, all without ever needing to send your private data to a central server. The edge is getting smarter, and devices like this Elecrow module are the building blocks of that future. I'll be covering the AI dialogue features in a separate video because the scope of what this can do
Hi there, I'm Chloe.
is just too big for one day. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.